All right, so let's go ahead and go into the first match. Find out.
Wait,
who's
what?
playing.
Oh boy.
He's doing it. Oh, he's actually doing it.
Oh man.
What an actual legend. So we got Link Joker and Spike Brothers. And that's a Star Hulk, which means that we're probably going to be seeing
A Brandt?
Yeah, maybe
Or
like
maybe
a
it's
Brandt.
just wannabe. Like
Yeah,
trying
maybe
to-
It's just for the flex.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I got Brandt in here. What you doing? It's like, no, you don't, homie. Get out of here. That's so
Yes.
funny. Awesome. Yeah, so we got this first game. What are you guys' thoughts? I mean, I can't imagine you've seen this matchup so many times, but out of theory, what do you think this matchup's going to look like?
Maxime, you
I
wanna go
believe
first?
Spike's too fast for this deck.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Brandt's like hey, is it third grade 3 right yet? Let me start my stuff. Like, all right.
Even if it's Messiah,
True, yeah,
Yeah.
Messiah.
Realistically, it being Messiah, I think. I mean, at least I think it's probably Messiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the deck is a little bit slow, and he's going second, which is
Yes.
honestly a big problem because
Yeah.
spikes can pop off going first, like turn 3, already putting in so much pressure, crits on every column, fat powers, like recycling everything. I feel like Messiah is not really going to be enough to put a big showing here, just because the deck is a turn 4 deck, unless you high roll like crazy and soul charge a grade 3 early. So we'll see. But he does check the grade 3
It's
Brandt.
Brandt.
It is Brandt. Oh,
Oh.
my god.
The
Ooh.
meme god right here. Honestly, as much as I like HydroJon, just because he's a great player, he's been to Worlds as well and stuff. Because it's Brandt, I have to kind of root for the underdog here.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
you can't help it.
we got no bias here, right? As
Yeah, of
professional
course not.
commentators, right?
Of course.
So you do have to be, aware that with Brandt, you can still see a Brandt Messiah hybrid. The fact that he, of course, checked 1 means that he's looking for maybe something a little bit sacky, running a couple of Brandts, throwing it in, maybe not with the engine. But a lot of times you'll see like a deck with a full Messiah engine and then just like teching in a couple of Brandts, maybe like 1 or 2 the grade 4s just for that last turn.
Yes.
But definitely curious to see what we got here. We actually have John Howard dropping a trigger onto the board just to make sure he's hitting numbers.
Yes, he
That's a
just wants
10K guard
the,
here.
Going ham instantly.
Yeah, so let's using that spike bouncer skill. Look at his. I missed this skill activation here. So, yeah, that grade 1 on the board, it hits. Like when you're going first, look at this board. Like he's got a lot set up. If he hits a trigger, this is gonna be nuts. What's he doing here?
However,
God.
there is the slight risk of he has to build his board now in a way that, he doesn't just get denied by 1 defensive. Okay, he's good. He did call down the Gary Cannon. It's going to be a lot of pressure because right now he basically is forced to take the rear guard attacks and pray for defensive, which the first one checked the blank. This one's going to be so much pressure. It's an 18, and if it hits, he's going to be able to plus off that Gary, which is just absolutely massive.
Absolutely.
So,
And also, do note that we just saw the other Brandt,
crit.
so we can kind of start assuming it's actually Brandt.
it actually is Brandt, and there's a
And
crit.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
is
With the
really
defensive, he needs to see a second one. He
Yeah,
doesn't
that's it.
see it. Quinlan, what do we do about this?
He's gonna have to pray here. So luckily, 1 column's not hitting. So he was smart. He put the power over on the crit trigger. So he's just trying to either bait out more guard from his hand or just have him take a 4th damage guaranteed. So this is a 10K shield required. So he's either dropping a piece, dropping a trigger from hand. Yeah, see, and there's the piece that he might have
That is a
needed.
piece.
So he's losing cards from hand. So he could have, of course, put the power on his grade 1 just to make 2 attacks, but he really wanted to get out a higher shield value card or guarantee, like a trigger from his hand. But that does get to come onto the field here, and so he's maybe getting some cool setup. So ended up working out for Crit Howard here on the right side, and we're going into the grade 2 turn now of Link Joker, already sitting at 3 damage. What do you think?
That's going to be really painful. I mean, don't forget, even if he gets to stabilize after this like really solid turn 2, then he still needs to just catch up to the fact that Spikes is going to have 2 grade 3 rides before he gets to do his actual play.
Yep.
So I don't know. It looks like a bit of carnage. Like going first was already really good. Being the superior deck in a way is already going to be really good. And then hitting that crit and that full field on top, it's looking really painful.
Yeah, this is a lot.
Yeah.
A lot has gone right here for HydroJon. What are you thinking, Chris?
Thing is, right, so Crit Howard was already sitting on 3 damage. And so looking at Hydro's next turn, he essentially just has to ride up to the Bull Spike and then just put a force 2 somewhere, and then he essentially attacks with one attack, and then like Crit Howard has no choice but to take that one, because otherwise he's dead to the other two. He either risks his opponent checking a crit and killing him with a Vanguard, or he risks him checking a crit, putting on the last rear guard that'll have a force 2 as well, and then just killing him with that. So he's gonna have to go to 5 no matter what next turn, unless he wants to guard everything. But with that 5-card hand, I don't see that happening. So
no way.
We do see him denying here, which is pretty smart, I would say.
Yeah, he literally has to.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his one choice, but like some people could just go ham regardless and then immediately get blown out.
Oh, but he did actually swing face, and he got a draw trigger. Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Okay, I misunderstood right there, but this is gonna be that's gonna bite him in the back, I think.
Yeah.
So of course he needs to win at some point. So
yeah,
that's a
so
big issue.
maybe he's just trying to get him up to like 3 damage, possibly 4. I'm assuming he's gonna only go up to 3. He should be guarding this easy 10k guard. So I think what he was trying to do is just get him up to 3, so that when he rides into Brandt after hopefully stabilizing here, that he does have at least a little bit of leeway as far as like being able to sack him with Brandt, remove crits, if he's going for that. Because I'm assuming this is an 8 crit deck. Because you already saw one of the draw PGs. So maybe he's just trying to set up his opponent to 3 damage, so that when he rides Brandt and stabilizes, maybe has a grade 4 Brandt ready to go, so that he can possibly work something out. But I mean, I don't think he's going to be living past the second grade 3 ride, so he's got to do something this next turn.
Yeah.
And also remember though, if he's at high damage, he can randomly just go heal for a game.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Brandt. So that's always a funny little thing that can happen.
Yeah, he does. That's only grade 3 Brandt, right? Or is that no? That applies on that's grade 3 and 4. No, sorry, that's only
on both. I think.
Yeah, because the grade 4 adds draw in front. So
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, hey, you never know. The great wise words of Noman himself: anything can happen in Cardfight Vanguard.
Yep.
And now note that that's not a positive thing, according to him.
Hey, you know what? The beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Am I right? So
That's true.
anything could happen in Cardfight Vanguard. But we do see the grade 3 ride into Dead Heat Bull Spike. And we'll see what he can do setting up this turn. But this is going to be a scary turn.
Yeah, I think one thing to note is that he, with the Wonder Boy, he already recycled the crit. So I think there's actually only 1 crit missing from deck. So if he's running 8, he's got 7 back in there. So the chances of him hitting something here are pretty high. And since the Brandt isn't out yet, that is also pretty big. And I think the fact that he called it to the back behind Vanguard lets it be a 26 with a 10k. Even a 15k won't be a 1 to pass. He'll need like a 20k for 1 to pass at the very least. So his hand is going to be seeing some damage here. It is interesting though that he runs the Bad End Dragger. We haven't seen too many lists for spikes running this card, because most people go for the previous VR from the last set. So pretty interesting choice here, but he is building up his field really nice with a Gyro Slinger as well as the Ronaldo. So it's definitely looking really good for HydroJon.
Also note though that if he gets him to 5, or I mean that's even better for him, but if he gets him to 5, that means that the whole threat of Brandt denying crits really dies because of the Force 2. So maybe that's what he's going for right here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and on top of that, he's setting up such an advantage here. He does only have 3 cards in hand, so he does have to kind of keep in mind. I think he's going to get a couple of draws off of the Dead Heat Bull Spike if he's not moving that around. So he might plus a little bit, go up to 4 or 5 cards this next turn. But, like you guys have already mentioned, this is going to be such a scary turn, moving that force marker around, swinging for 2 damage pretty much every single attack. It's going to be quite scary. Brecky now on the field, going to get that plus 10k boost. This is going to be every single column swinging for over a 20k guard until he hits a trigger. So there's almost no way. He's going into battle phase, most likely to be seeing that Vanguard swing first. There it is, man.
And then keep in mind that Bad End can already swing for lethal because he gains his own crit. So just passing on the Force 2 already pressures that 3 damage. So here he's guarding with a 30, so he's at 40. Yeah. This is a 2 to pass, but it's pretty risky. We see a heal. Good thing that's not on the Brandt turn.
Oh my god. And the heal actually is activated.
Oh no, okay, he doesn't.
No need to. Throw that on the rear guard, swinging for 36.
Absolutely.
He's going to force him guaranteed up to 5 damage, just like Chris said last turn, or last little bit ago. And another trigger. Oh my god. So he's probably going to put that on that Brecky. Going to be swinging for 2 attacks, even through a trigger. Now going to be requiring 30k guard just to freaking stop. No, he committed to the left. Okay.
I think it's smart to put it on the bad end because right now he can swing with the bad end for a 41 with a force 2. No, it's going to be 46 because he gains another 5 from his skill and with an extra crit. So he's swinging for lethal with 46. Oh no, but he chooses to swing with the Bracky first. That's quite interesting.
So I
because
think
this will
what
give just 1 damage.
So I was actually going to say that was smart because you could only move the force marker once. So he wanted to push him to 4 damage.
That's true.
Move the force marker over and then guarantee that he has to guard this. So I think there was kind of 2 lines of play here where he might have either looked to push him to 5 guarantee or just push him to 4 because in this deck, you don't really need your opponent to be at 5 damage because you're moving the force 2 marker. So guarantee if he re-rides next turn, he's guarantee every attack swinging for a force 2. So no matter what, whether he's at 4 or at 5, this is like the exact same amount of pressure. So I actually do agree with him on this. Get him to 4 damage. Now he has to guard this 51k, and he just takes it.
Looks like it's over.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's game already.
Yeah.
That was a fast one. God.
That is the HydroJon way, I would dare to say.
Oh my
he's
God.
he's showing his hand. Is it a bunch of 4s and 3s?
3
Oh.
grade 3s.
Oh my
Oh.
god. Yeah.
That's nasty.
Yes. So,
that is nasty.
Brilliant stuff. And see, even if he swung, it didn't matter. No triggers on top. That man was dead in the water. But I just want to point out one quick line of thought. HydroJon made the absolute right play. If he did swing that force 2 and Crit Howard did hit like 2 triggers, then the Brecky would no longer have hit, and he would not have won this turn. So the fact that he pushed him to 4 first and then swung force 2, it was basically PG, drop 3 cards or die. So really smart play. Go ahead.
I think he would have won because he would have passed the force 2 as he did to the bad end, and then the bad end from his own skill gains another crit. So it would have swung for a 3.
Oh, that's right. It swings for 3 damage. Oh my god, yeah, I forgot about.
Yeah,
that.
so that's why
That's
I
nuts.
also found that Bracky play a little bit questionable. But I mean, he won in the end, so it doesn't really matter. But I think if he wants to rewatch this and reflect on his plays, I think that's something that's worth to pay attention to. But yeah, so I think we saw a magnificent play from Crit Howard. Honestly, like that was a very clean Spike Brothers game. I think that really showed what the deck is capable of. And just that early pressure, a lot of advantages that he gained in the early game. Like he had the Spike Bouncer and everything that was just like gathering him cards all the time. Wonder Boy, recycling the triggers that he guarded with and everything. So I feel like he really controlled that game super well. It would have been really cool to see Brandt at least make it to grade 3 and potentially deny a trigger or something. But unfortunately, the dream is dead for Brandt. But still, really cool.